Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The supply of COVID vaccine nowhere near demand, so many are asking why can't they just ramp up production? Well, part of the answer has to do with something you can't see without a microscope.
A lot of work still underway to clear driveways, sidewalks, and streets, and it's bringing out the best in some neighbors. Grant.
Now that the winter weather has moved in, there are a lot of trouble spots around your home you may not be thinking about. Coming up, we'll walk through step by step where those spots are and what to do about them.
We'll have Ben's updated forecast in just a moment because there's more to be concerned with. But let's start things off with a check of the road conditions.
Tim Pamplin's out there carefully driving around. Tim, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, I think Detroit crews have done an excellent job. A+. The main roads are good. This is Woodward Avenue going through Foxtown. The freeways, not so much. Take a look at the video we got just a few moments ago. Several crashes, spin-outs, multiple vehicle crashes along 75 up near the Davison. You see the sides, the shoulders are still snow-covered. The ramps are very icy. Now, if you come back out to me here, you'll see the issue. Detroit's done a good job clearing the main roads. The problem is, they have no control over this. It's what's going to happen tonight. These roads are wet. Temperatures going down to 0. This is going to be an awful scene come about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning as these roads freeze up. Take it carefully if you're out and about tonight. We'll have updates, of course, tonight at 11 o'clock. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Tim, and let's stay with that big drop in temperatures coming overnight.
Yeah, we've got more snow on the way, so let's go ahead and check in with Ben for a timeline here, Ben.
It would be nice if Mother Nature would have spaced out these events a little bit between the biggest snow of the season and the coldest night in 2 years. But no, we got to take them within 24 hours of each other. We're at 16 right now, and that is one of our warmer numbers we'll see in the next 24 hours. 1 degree is where we're headed tonight. That's the overnight low for the metro zone. A lot of spots outside of that will be in negative territory, and we'll look at that in your 4-zone forecast coming up. The weather story over the next several days, obviously the cold is first on the menu. Then we've got more snow that comes in Thursday into Friday. We will be warming back to near 40, but it's going to take us until Tuesday to get there. And dovetailing off of what Tim Pamplin said, as temperatures drop tonight, a lot of the treatments that we put on the roads do not work at all when you start getting down into 0 and negative territory. So he's right. There's going to be a lot of icy roads tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that and the warmer temperatures ahead in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, thank you. City of Detroit contractors have until 6 a.m. tomorrow to complete plowing of residential streets, and that work continues tonight.
But folks are on their own when it comes to driveways and sidewalks. Victor Williams joins us live with an update on those efforts. It helps, of course, with people with the snow blowers also have big hearts, Victor.
Yes, that's right. This snow has been a major headache for everyone, and a lot of it looks just like this, a lot of accumulation. But one man has been working to make sure that that snow looks more like that right over there, and that is clear. With 6 to 9 inches of snow on the ground, Detroit's latest winter storm has caused a lot of frustration.
Make sure you have a shovel, because there's too much snow.
That same stress not only shared by Detroiters behind the wheel, but also others who may be trapped with at least half a foot of snow in the driveway or on the sidewalk. Thankfully, some of the people residing on Detroit's west side are fortunate enough to live next to Andrew Flint.
I've been in this neighborhood about 30 years, and I say about 28 of them I've been doing this. So it's nothing new for me, it's nothing I just do it just to help somebody out.
For nearly 30 years now, Andrew has been clearing off his entire block following major snowstorms, and it's a good deed that he says will continue to happen.
I think it's just the way I've been brought up as a kid. You know, it goes back to my roots when I was a young fella, and my grandmother always taught me, you know, if you're gonna do something, do it right.
Andrew believes it's his responsibility to make sure his neighbors are fine, because that's how he was raised.
Just do it from the heart. If you're gonna do it right. And that's just the way I've raised my kids the same way. If you're gonna do something, do it right.
But at the end of the day, he realizes it could be so much worse.
You know, we've actually been pretty fortunate, man, to be honest. You know, so I'm not complaining.
With all this cold, it's good to have a heartwarming story. Indeed, as you can imagine, all the people that live next to Andrew, they're quite happy. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, thank you. And one of the hot spots for fun in the snow today has been Farmington Hills over at Heritage Park. Larry Taylor broke out the snowshoes for some winter hiking.
Said he spent the morning behind his snowblower, but still hadn't had enough for the winter weather.
This is great. It's a beautiful day out here. Just enough sunshine to keep things warm and a nice steep hill. It's a real joy and a blessing out here today.
Blessing, that's the way to look at it. Today's also been a blessing for those who like to hit the sleds.
Yeah, this is a look at the fun at Shiawassee Park in Farmington. Lots of kids out there racing down the hill. Of course, there were some wipeouts too. A couple of parents couldn't resist the opportunity to sled and wipe out. Everybody having a good time.
That's nice. Now, this amount of snow and ice can wreak havoc, though, on your homes, away from all the fun and in ways that aren't always easy to see.
Grant Herms has spent the day gathering expert advice on how to spot those problems and solve them. Hi, Grant.
Hi, Kimberly and Devin. So there are some things that are literally around your house that you need to be aware of, and thankfully most of them do have easy fixes.
The first thing I look at is the roof.
Outside, there are lots of signs that a roof could be poorly insulated or a buildup of ice could pull the gutters right off the home. While those icicles might be pretty, they can be signs you may need to clean off the roof or install heated gutter tape to prevent a buildup.
If you look above the gutter, there is a buildup of ice. Those gutter tapes that we talked about earlier would prevent that from happening.
Then there's just getting into the house.
Sure, shovels are great, but you know what works better than shoveling any day is laying down a layer of salt. Now, we laid down this salt just a few minutes ago here, and you can already see this entire walkway here completely empty of snow and ice, and it's going to stay that way as the snow continues to fall. So really, who needs this?
One last trouble spot, the pipes, not just inside, but also the spigot. If you don't seal it tight, it may mean more problems.
This right here will fit around the handle. Once this is on the handle, this part right here will pull tight.
Sure.
There's a button just like on your hoodie. And you take it and you pull it tight. That will secure it up against the house, and that foam will help for uneven surfaces. So it'll help seal out the weather and keep it insulated so it doesn't have problems, and hopefully so it doesn't freeze.
Right.
Now, there is one more thing to check. Make sure you know where the water shutoff valve is in your home. It's likely in your basement somewhere. It's a good time to check to make sure it hasn't rusted or corroded so that it doesn't fail when you need it the most. In St. Clair Shores, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Great tips and advice, Grant. We appreciate it.
It's the worst possible time for anyone to lose their home. So the White House is throwing out a lifeline to those who may be struggling to meet their monthly payments. Biden administration announcing today the moratorium on foreclosures is extended until June 30th. Some, though, say much more needs to be done to help the people being hit hardest by the crisis. Priya Mann live with where things stand right now. Priya?
Well, Devin, Kim, it is estimated that more than 10 million homeowners are behind on their mortgage payments. 1 in 5 renters are behind on their rent. This moratorium was first put in place by President Trump, set to expire in March. It's now been extended till the end of June.
And it definitely helps prevent a kind of immediate catastrophe. However, it still leaves a lot to be desired and a lot unresolved.
Detroit Will Breathe has been fighting to stop evictions throughout the pandemic and points out this extension only applies to government-backed mortgages.
So it's just another way that Black and brown working class people are disproportionately affected by the crises of capitalism in the global pandemic.
The Biden administration says extending forbearance policies will provide critical support to homeowners of color who make up a disproportionate share of borrowers with delinquent loans and loans in forbearance due to COVID-related hardship. While the extension gives struggling homeowners some breathing room, financial expert Thomas Hakeem says it doesn't address underlying issues.
But until you tell people and help people and show people how not to be in this situation and what to do if it does come along, well, how many extensions? You could have 10 extensions. It's not going to help anybody.
The Biden administration estimates the extension will benefit 2.7 million homeowners and extend forbearance options for nearly 11 million government-backed mortgages.
So I'm glad it got extended. And I think what needs to go with that is some advice.
So he suggests calling your service providers. Many will help set up payment plans. He also suggests calling your bank. They may renegotiate. The most important thing to remember is eventually these moratoriums will be lifted, and it's vital that you have a plan B. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Great advice. All right, Priya.
Taking a look now at today's coronavirus numbers. Michigan reports 775 new cases of COVID-19 in the past 24 hours and 19 new deaths. With vaccine in such short supply, one of the questions we've heard asked again and again is why can't the vaccine manufacturers make more doses more quickly? Well, the answer is complicated, but our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with an example of just one of the many limiting factors. Doc?
Yeah, Kim, we've seen how companies that make certain things during the pandemic have struggled to meet the intense demand, often because a key ingredient was in short supply. Well, vaccine manufacturers are also struggling with those issues on a much more complex level as well as a microscopic one. This lab is making lipid nanoparticles. The genetic code in mRNA vaccines is transported into human cells using these little fat bubbles. Around 1,000th of the width of a single human hair, they're incredibly small, critical to the COVID vaccine rollout, and there aren't nearly enough of them. Aequitas Therapeutics is one of the biotech firms making the lipid component in the Pfizer vaccine. They're also supporting CureVac and the Imperial College London, who each have vaccine candidates in the pipeline, but they can't make enough by themselves.
We don't try and do it all ourselves. We try to enable others around the globe to be able to contribute to this effort. Whenever we reach out to other companies to ask them whether they could support manufacturing of the lipid components, for example, as soon as they hear it's to support a COVID-19 vaccine, they're completely engaged.
Many powerful alliances are being forged in the private sector to boost manufacturing capacity, but there are calls for more cooperation at the government level.
We need public agencies, so governments nationally or regionally, they have to come together and ask the question, if I have scarce capacity for something, how do I ensure that it remains coordinated between multiple vaccine manufacturers?
Now, some limiting factors are easier to solve. The Biden administration recently announced it would use the Defense Production Act to give Pfizer priority access to filling pumps and filtration units to allow Pfizer to get the vaccine into vials and ultimately into arms more quickly.
Frank, could the government ask other drug companies to make a competitor's vaccine?
Interesting question, Kim. Yeah, technically, yes, but that's not a quick or simple process by any stretch. Quality control, that's a huge issue, and there are, frankly, a lot of proprietary concerns as well. Most experts basically agree that helping the vaccine companies find ways to boost their own manufacturing is really the better course of action.
Sure. Okay. Dr. McGeorge, thank you.
It's fascinating. Still ahead here at 6. Ben is updating the forecast as we head into one of the coldest nights we've seen in quite a while.
Plus, Detroit and Wayne County still coming to terms with the loss of Benny Napoleon. He wore many hats, but what is his lasting legacy? A closer look at a true change maker next.